Okay, welcome back to the third part of our beta project AK upgrade build. If you missed our past two episodes showing you the gearbox upgrade and the hop-up upgrade that we did, you can click on both of these annotations. That's part one there, part two here, and we also have the original review that we did of this gun before it was upgraded. Done that quite a few months ago. Great looking AK if you like your kind of tactical stuff, designed by Travis Healy, so pretty neat little gun. The reason we selected this is because the upgrades that Echo 1 sent us are compatible with it. It's a version 3 gearbox, 7mm bearings, which is great, and also the Mad Bull blue hop-up rubber bucking that we put inside is perfect for a gun like this. We've already done the review, so you guys already know what this gun's got on it. So we spent about £100 worth of upgrades on this, and we're going to take it out in the range later to see what we did. Things we put in are this modify smooth bearing gear set, terrific bit of kit. Now it's really easy to install. You'll have seen that if you watched the episode 1, and the Mad Bull blue hop-up bucking is as easy as anything to get into any gun, so you can check them out. Alright, awesome gun. Like we did in the past review, we used 0.25 gram BBs because that's all we could lift with it. On this episode we're going to be using 0.3 gram BBs. They're a wee bit heavier and they're much more consistent, but is it going to shoot any better? We'll find out in a range test. Of course, the idea of the build though was to upgrade this gun to take one of these. It's an 11.1 volt lipo, and you hear this all over the place. Is my gun lipo ready? Guys, every gun comes lipo ready. It just depends what voltage you want to run through it. 7.4 volts will work in any gun. It gives you about the same rate of fire as an 8.4 volt NIM battery, but we'll do a review on batteries later on this year. The 7.4 that we used before gave us a nice steady rate of fire, but nothing impressive. But this thing gives blistering results. I've run them in many guns before that are lipo ready, and they work astonishingly. You're going to get lots of people's heads down with this. You're going to be firing like 25, 30 rounds a second. It's not impressive compared to some of the dual sector gear builds, but it's a cheap alternative to getting your gun to a much higher rate of fire. The unfortunate thing is, if you try and put it in a standard gun, many guns will break very quickly. It's a bit like putting nitrous into a little tiny car, like one of these Kias, one of the Korean built cars. It's just going to destroy it. So basically what we've done is we've put a better, more sturdy engine inside this. So we're going to go ahead now and take it on the range and see how it does. Okay, before we do the shooting test or anything, a lot of you guys mentioned about the angle of engagement on the motor and the gears and about the shimming. The shimming's fine. What we didn't do on the upgrade video was adjust the motor height, which is a really important thing to do. So first of all, I've got my goggles on, of course. I'm going to check that there's no BBs inside the gun. I'm obviously going to do that by just pulling the trigger a couple of times over into the corner of the room. Alright, switch into... And it sounds awful, right? That's because the motor height, it sounds like the motor's either far too tight or too far off, so we're going to go find out what's causing that. So battery out first, always safety first, guys. What we're going to do is going to take the grip off. Because this is a version 3, it's actually really easy to do. So there is a star screwdriver at the bottom of this gun. Just take that off, try not to lose that. And the grip comes clean off. It's really easy. Alright, we need the right size Allen key, so there we have it, or Allen wrench I think you guys call it in the States. This is the one we need. And inside there, where the screw holds on the grip, there is a tiny little grub screw there that adjusts the motor height. And I've had some experience on version 3s, it looks like the motor's far too far in there. So I'm just going to ease off that pressure there a little bit, and I'm going to plug a battery back in and see how that sounds. The beauty of this is I can adjust the motor height constantly just by pulling the trigger. So I'm still on fire. Listening to the difference in that already. Doesn't sound like it's struggling, but it could maybe be doing a little bit better. You never know, so just pull the trigger and adjust it in tiny little increments. Now the motor sounds a lot more quiet and less screechy, and we're getting a higher rate of fire out of this. I'm quite happy with that, so I'm going to put the grip back on. Simple process, easy to do. What you should really do is Loctite this, but we're not going to do that just now, it's going to take up too much time. When you Loctite it, that means that the vibrations aren't going to wiggle it back out again and take the tension off your motor and the gears. So always good practice to Loctite, but we don't have any handy here, and like I said, it's going to take ages to do. Hopefully this is just going to be a quick video. Alright, not too tight, you don't want to strip the thread on either the screw or especially not the bottom of the gearbox. So another little test before we go and do the shooting test. Sounds much better. That's a 7.4 volt battery. Now we're going to put the 11.1 in and see how that sounds. Okay, here we go, 11.1. That's what we're talking about. Okay, let's set it up for the range and see how it does out there. Okay, we're all ready on the range. Got the 0.3 gram BBs in the magazine already. The 0.3 gram that we're using are actually sniper ammunition. They are really highly polished ones, so we're getting really good lift on them with the new Mad Bull Blue hot rubber, which is great. I've already had a little shot down there. We're reaching much further distances than we were getting before with the 0.25s like we did on the last review of this gun. So for the first test, we're using this. It's a 7.4 volt lipo, 1300 milliamps, and it's a 20C. So I'm going to hook that up just now. It's Tamiya connectors. They're as good as any. Prefer Dean's, but we're going to roll with this. Okay, so 30 meters away. Let's see how it does in full auto now. Should be a lot smoother. Okay. I'll just switch this camera on as well. We'll get a nice point of view down the range. Right, cool. Let's go for it. Bust the three. Nice and smooth. Alright, let's move on to 11.1 volt. Okay, so we saw no real improvement in rate of fire with the 7.4. That's because we used the 7.4, the exact same battery actually last time. So going to move on now to the 11.1 volt lipo, which is what we've been working on. It's trying to get this gun more reliable to run higher voltage. Right, so it's 11.1, 2200 milliamps, and this one's a 15C. So it makes no difference really to rate of fire. The voltage is key here. So I'm going to plug this one in, and we're going to fire another 3 bursts at the target downrange. Alright, so it's already in automatic. Let's find out just how scary this thing can be. Okay, really solid rate of fire. You don't want to be another end of this. So let's go out there and see how it did in accuracy. Okay, so we've done the 0.3 gram test, and I also noticed we were lifting 0.43 grams. Now this is pretty scary ammunition to be using, and I would really caution you with these using anything heavier than a 0.3. Not because of any mechanical thing, but they really do hurt when you hit someone, and you're going to be making a lot of enemies by hitting people with this, especially with something with rate of fire like this gun. So we're going to go ahead and see how it does on the accuracy, but it should make a little bit of a difference. Maybe not good, or maybe it'll be awesome. So let's find out. Alright, we're still with our 11.1 volt lipo. So let's go ahead and just do another burst of 3. Right. Helps if I put it in the fire mode. Okay, here we go. Now I can hear already that it's devastating the box. It's going right through. We've got stuff inside there as well. It's hitting off the back wall and they're just coming everywhere. Little black BBs. Anyway, let's see how it did, and we'll compare all 3 range tests. Okay, we're done with the range test. Everything's kind of unhooked and we're ready to show you the targets. Let's start with the 7.4 volt 3 gram test. 0.3 gram, well 3 gram would be pretty damn heavy for a BB. There we go. We didn't actually improve any accuracy from the previous test that we did before on our last review of this gun. In fact, it's pretty much the same as the semi-auto test, only more BBs hit it. So we'll disregard that, that's fine. But we did, of course, the 11.1 volt lipo. Now, technically, there should be no difference between accuracy on a 7.4 and 11.1, but there is one kind of physics-related thing to do with the gun, is basically the BB being sucked back with the piston pulling back, and that can become a factor. But actually, you see, the accuracy is slightly improved on this one. Got a nice chunk coming out there, but that could be due to more BBs hitting the target and just getting a better consistency. Who knows, but it did improve it on paper, so we'll just go with that. Pretty unscientific, but you get an idea. And of course we moved on to the 0.43 gram test. Now, we didn't hit the target very often, but when we did, it was just absolutely annihilating the box. Heavier BBs are obviously more well, in theory they should be more consistent, but in something like this, I think the barrel's far too long and the BB's staying in there too long. It's hitting the inside and it's pinging off there and giving us a really bad result. So there you go, you can get 2 heavy BBs for your gun. Of course you can get 2 light as well, so it's finding that nice balance. So we'll probably do another future episode and try and get a really well balanced gun, but that's pretty dreadful for heavy BBs. So overall, upgrading the gun, all we've really done is made it more reliable. Now that could be a good thing. If you're planning on keeping a hold of your gun for a long time, that's a great thing obviously. You want to keep the longevity of your gun. It's also much smoother and it's going to use less battery, so you're going to get more rounds out of your battery than normal. Excellent gun. I mean, again, don't forget to check out the review of this. You can click on that annotation here. We'll do some more upgrades to similar guns to this in the future, which you can check out. Just don't forget to hit subscribe there. If you want to see this gun in action as well, you can click on this annotation. And of course, you also get the 2 other videos there for the upgrade. Both of them, the gearbox and the hop-up bucking. I'd like to thank Echo One USA for sending us this modify stuff. I also like to thank Frenchie and all the guys at Airsoft World for putting this gun together for us as well. They're going to be giving away, well, not giving the gun away, but they'll be giving away the upgrade parts inside this gun for the retail value of the normal gun. So don't forget, as you can click on their Facebook page, hit a like and you'll see this gun pop up at some time in the future. So you're getting a fully upgraded AK for the price of a standard one. So keep an eye out for that and we'll see you next time.